is Tomomy Yana, a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video will be the last video for GratitangleZ 2024. This video is going to cover day 28, 29, and 30 for GratitangleZ 2024. And this first one is when I look at step out, I can consider this as a fragment, or I can see this as a grid tangle. But either way, I'm gonna create a square grid first, and then I'll fill each of these square space with a tangle called Fiore, Fiore. And you could create this grid with a pencil, but again, typically, traditionally in Zentangle, we don't draw pencil lines in a tangle or create pencil grid. I mean, there's no rule, but I think when I learned Zentangle first, the grid was always drawn with a pen because it was part of a tangle step out. And this one, don't think grid is a part of the tangle. I think it's more or less of a fragment. So, but even then, when I look at the definition of reticular, so reticular is defined as a space that's as a small space that are created by pen lines or ink with ink. Let me double check. I'm looking at the book called the Primer, Volume 1, which is written by the founder of Zentangle, Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. They define reticular as the grids or other structures of ink-drawn lines that hold fragments. And there's no mistakes in Zentangle. There's it's a creative exercise, so you can do however you want, but I decided to stay true to the original idea and draw my created my grid with a pen. So once you have smaller square inside each square, I'm gonna take off from each of the side to the corner. I mean, you can see this as a corner to corner, but if you trace the movement of my pen, you can kind of see this one, I went from the corner, but you see I'm tracing the side of the square. So what it does is it sculpts the original square shape. And I'm going to add just a little bit of line weight to make this square more like a diamond shape. Just adding a little character to this square. So you see I go over the side and take off. And you can do each or reticular or each of the square space, or you can do all of the ones that's going into the same direction. That's what I'm doing. Because once I figure out one, I can use that as a sample and just do all of the ones that's going to the same direction. So I'm gonna do the one that's coming off from the left corner, or we're connecting the upper left corner to the square. So to me, doing this way gets me in certain rhythm, and it make sense to me. But you could always do each square, complete each square, and move on to the next square, whichever makes sense to you. But whichever way that you're doing, the lines are always going into the same direction. So for the purpose of this video, as you notice that I haven't turned my my page so that it's easy for you to follow what I'm doing. But if I'm just tangling for myself, I will be spinning this page or this tile so that I'm always drawing the line in the same direction. That helps to create more consistency, and it's easier on my hand too, because I feel more comfortable drawing a line in certain direction compared to the other. So find the way that's most comfortable for you, and just thread or feed your paper under your pen. It's like a sewing machine. Like, you don't move the sewing machine, you move the fabric. So the needle is like a pen in a sewing machine. Pen is like a needle on a sewing machine. Sorry, I got backwards. So the pen is like a needle on a sewing machine, and the paper is like a fabric. And then this next step, you're going to aura each of these lines. And I decided to do tethered aura instead of the regular aura. So I'm aiming to the corner, but when I look at the step out, it's actually a regular aura. So the line goes parallel all the way to the initial line, but I decided to do tethered aura. So now you can kind of started to see flower-like shape. So we started with grid and a square and 4 lines, but now you started to see kind of 4-petaled flower look. So this is much like the bells, one of the first tangle that everybody learns as they start their Zentangle journey. So I'm simply repeating the aura. And I'm gonna add just a little dot. This is like the center of this flower shape. And I think, if I did this with a pencil line, this initial grid will be completely disappeared. But because I still see this grid line, what I'm gonna do is, so what I'm doing now creates kind of like one petal is going under the other. I could do this after I'm shading, but because I know where I'm gonna shade, I decided to do it ahead of the time since I have pen in my hand. Now you can see the flower shape a little more clearly. And then I wanted to make this grid line disappear further. So I decided to add some faint lines inside each of these petals. the reason why I'm doing this faint line is to bring some light in it. I didn't want to make it look too dark by adding solid lines because I already have lots of black ink filled space, so I decided to do a really faint line. I'm gently caressing the surface of this paper, so this adds texture to this space, and also I'm gonna add some highlight later. So this is day 28 and it's been a fun journey, and I appreciate you watching my video, and I appreciate your creativity too. I've been following the Facebook group for GratitangleZ 2024. If you haven't joined yet, it's still not too late, and then you can see what other artists are doing. And this daily Tangle challenge, like Inktober in October, GratitangleZ in November, like December there's a Advent Tangle group, and I don't know if there's anything in January, but February there's a Valentangle, which uses a lot of heart shape, and I think it's one of a lot of tanglers participate, especially on Inktober and Valentangles. I think these are two of the biggest one that I know of, and there are many others. In June, there's 2U Tangle that's hosted by Japanese CZTs and such. I think some challenges works with my schedule and works with my likings, and some challenges that just doesn't work with my schedule or my taste. But it's fun. It's fun to join these challenges and tangle along with other people who's participating in the same challenge and learning the same tangle together. So perhaps pick one or two that you like, and or maybe as many as you like. It doesn't have to be one or two, but it just gives you an opportunity to connect with other tanglers, and also a good way to have a daily tangle practice. I always say, more drawing, less watching. I really appreciate you watching my video, but I would love you to put your pens if you have time to watch my video. I know. I want you to watch my video, but I want you to tangle more than watching my video. So sometimes, actually, a lot of the times, I play these videos in faster speed. So on YouTube, you can adjust playback speed. I think you can do regular speed 1.25s, and 1.5, 1.75, and 2 times faster than the recorded natural speed. And I don't talk fast, so if you play in double speed, I think you can still understand what I'm saying, and you can finish watching the video in half time, so that you can give yourself more time to tangle. So I added a little bit of highlight inside this petal shape. And you see how initial grid completely disappeared, and it looks like a nice, I don't know what flower that is. I feel like this is, oh gosh, I can't remember. Something that you see in the springtime. maybe like can't remember, but you know what I'm saying. I'm sure you see different flowers that you know. If you can think of the name of the flower, please leave it in the comment section. Well, I paused my recording a little bit because there was ambience outside. I don't know if you could hear, but I live in a pretty busy area in Tokyo. So oftentimes in my recording, you may see a car driving by. I try to find a quiet hour for my recording, but still, there's cars, there's ambience, and actually there's some construction across the street from me. So if you're hearing some buzz or noise, that's what's happening. I think they are building another building. I think it's an apartment building across the street. So sorry about the noise if that bothers you. You can mute the audio, and you can just watch me tangle if that works better. So this next one, you start with an orb and you aura. Well, actually, you take off two lines that's taking off from this initial orb into two opposite directions, and you continue to aura. So you can do one at a time, or you can do few at a time. But this is such a relaxing tangle, and the result is really beautiful. So this time I did a few on one side, and I'll come back to the opposite side and I'll do a few more. And this is also a great tangle for practicing drawing steady lines. I mean, again, you're not pursuing perfection, but still, you wanna go slow, and you wanna be able to draw the line that you want to, and you can be proud of. It takes focus, it takes practice, it takes patience. So be kind to yourself, and some days are better than the others. Some days I draw better lines than the other. And one time in the class, I was watching this artist draw her tangle, and it was just a very, very simple tangle, but she's known to be an artist with such an intricate patterns and designs, and just her artwork is just incredible. But I had an opportunity to watch her draw in a class, and it's really breathtaking. But she was just taking a moment to draw each line. She wasn't rushing. Her hand was very steady because she was not rushing. And I'm sure she practiced a lot, but it's just the focus and love and attention and care that she put into each line. It's just incredible. So it's not like she can just rush and made something beautiful. She took her time, she paid attention, she was very, very careful how she drew each line. So that's something that I try to remember. And sometimes I rush through, especially when I'm filming, because I know, like, when you're watching the video, you want to see what's next, right? So I tend to rush when I'm filming my video, but I actually tangle slow when I'm not videotaping or filming. So this one I'm going kind of sort of slow because I want this to look really nice and consistent, but still I could go even slower. So find your comfortable pace, especially if you're tangling at home. When you're tangling with somebody else in the class, you may have to rush through because class has limited time. Sometimes 90 minutes, 60 minutes, 2 hours, however long the class may be. As an instructor, I have to move the class in certain speed. But if I'm tangling just for myself, if you're tangling just for yourself, you can just take your time and perhaps find a rhythm that works with your breathing. Maybe take a one breath in for one stroke and one breath out for next stroke. Zentangle is not just an art, it's a mindful meditation practice. So don't rush. We're not competing. There's no deadline. If you don't finish this today, you can come back and finish tomorrow. So now I'm adding shading to where these lines are kind of going in or going under the line where I'm adding shading to, and also creating the layered look with my shading. So one shape goes over another. So that's where I'm adding shading to create layered look and the set of lines going under a line. So it has a weaving look. And as you notice, you can connect these multiple Verve. That's the name of the tangle, Verve. So if you look at the one on the left corner, it almost looks like it's going under the one next to it, and you know how it has sort of the weaved look. So you can intentionally create that if you are working with a bigger space. But since I'm working in a limited space, I just did this in random directions. So if you try to weave these, I think you're gonna see some interesting meta shape too. So that's something that you can explore and experiment. And I'm gonna add some highlights to create like a roundedness right here, so that it looks like this part is coming forward. So anywhere you add shading in curved shape or curved lines, that looks like the bright spot is coming forward and everything else kind of get pushed down. So that's where I'm adding shading. Yeah, they look pretty. I'm quite happy with this one. And I like Tangle like this. It's quite simple, repetitive, and it just creates nice, beautiful pattern. And I decided to add ink to these initial orbs because I feel like there's just lots of lines but not enough drama. And also adding a little more black ink to where lines are going under to create or emphasize the shading I just did. So this is just a finishing touch. And as you see, I left a little tiny dot in the middle, not in the middle, but inside the orb to bring the light. You don't have to, since I'm gonna come back in with a white gel pen. But if you don't have a white gel pen, that's how you can do. You can bring the light by leaving the space that's blank. So the white gel pen is opaque. So even if after the black ink you come in with a white gel pen, it completely covers. But still, this is a nice way to kind of test out to see if the highlight works. And then you come back in with the white ink, white gel pen, and add a little bright spot like this. So this is the last one. Can you believe that? It's already been 30 days. So if you've been watching from the beginning, thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video, tangling with me, and thank you for leaving comments and like buttons and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate each one of you here. So this is the last tangle called Uzu. And Uzu start with a big orb. And I added 5 dots. This is just to divide this initial orb into 5 space so that I know exactly where I'm going with the next step. So you add this kind of like a swirly petal like shape. So I'm spinning counterclockwise, and the next one it's gonna spin counterclockwise. So I guess I'm following the step out and just adding kind of C-shaped lines, but you can see how this is not exactly a C-shaped line. You're gonna see in the next step why I'm doing this, because the next step gonna create a shape like this. So you have, it's like a muka, so rounded head with a neck or stem. So that's why I instead of just a simple C-shaped line, I rounded the end of the line, expecting what's gonna be next. And I think that's it for Tangle Uzu. And then you can embellish with like different petals and whatever, but I decided to just keep going, keep adding this same kind of a really chunky fat muka like shape. So because the previous one I did clockwise, next one I'm gonna do counterclockwise. I think I did right. I thought I did wrong, but So this one I did counterclockwise, and since I have a little more space, I'm gonna keep going, just repeating the same step out. Now my muka like shape is really chunky. They kind of look like a little cartoon arms. Maybe not. But anyways, so yep, this is my last one, I think. And it's going off the paper, and you can kind of use your imagination. And I decided to ink in this in-between space to give some drama. And it's kind of cute. They look like a little shark fin, little V shape, little shark fin shape. So I wanted to give them some attention and love. And so this tangle uzu is created by Japanese CZT. So uzu means what's the best word, like swirl? So it's like when you think of proton, that's swirly pattern, so that's uzu. Something that's going in a swirly direction ways. We call that uzu. So I think that's the intention of the tangle. Yep, I think I'm happy with these shark fin shapes, and I feel like something is missing around here. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm just gonna add a little bit of shark fins here, and adding some little finishing touch. And I feel like something is still missing on the bottom left corner. Maybe I'll come back to it later. Hopefully, I think I did. I'm recording the voice later. It's fun to watch myself tangle too. That's what I'm doing as I record this voice, and I'm creating layered look. So at this point, I'm treating this as a flower shape, and each of these fat muka with shark fin as a petal. And I'm gonna gently come back in with my tortillon, and I don't wanna pull out too far and make this too dark, because it's like a flower-like design. So I wanna keep it nice and bright, and this orb here is really nice and big, so it's fun to shade and highlight. Sometimes orbs are really tiny and I can only do quick shading, but like when the orbs are really big, this big, I can add a little more details. And also another thing you can do, which is really popular, is to make these big orbs into some kind of gem. adding gem is really popular amongst a lot of people. I'm not a big fan of gem. It's just not me. I don't even care for gem in real life, so I'm not really inspired to draw gems. If you had a chance to meet me in person, you know what I mean. I don't think you see me wearing wearing a bunch of gems or yeah, bright colors. I'm more of I don't know, like a jeans and t-shirt kind of person. Most of my clothes are black and white with some accent colors. So I like to keep things simple and basic. I don't like anything flashy, but that's just me. So if you want to make this into gem, I think that's gonna be beautiful. So I'll add a little bit of highlights here and there. And I'm treating this as if they are mucus. I ended up adding a little bit of dots, but I'm not sure if I like these dots that I added. But I like the lines that I'm adding to create a highlighted spot. And decided to add some shading behind. Oh, I think this is when I realized, oh, something is missing. Because when I'm tangling, I'm looking something really, closely. So it's a little different when I'm watching my video. I'm looking from afar, so it's easy for me to see the balance. But I'm glad that I saw this and decided to add one more shark fin here. I think that's gonna balance this much better. So anyways, thank you for watching this series for GratitangleZ 2024. And now let me show you the final result. I'm quite happy with what I have, but I'm so proud of myself for doing this for 30 days with you, and I hope that you are enjoying your 30-day journey with me. And please check out my other videos, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye now.